You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
If you hold Korean chip names or a KOSPI index fund, yesterday changed the arithmetic. Pause. The index jumped 5.89% in a single session. SK Hynix spent more than 1 trillion won buying its own shares on day one, and foreign investors have been net buyers in 6 of the past 7 sessions. It's Friday, August 21st. Let's look at what this means for retail investors in Korea. The KOSPI fell sharply in July and had struggled to hold the 7,000 line since. Global investment banks said the index needed calmer volatility and a concrete shareholder return plan before foreign money returned. SK Hynix delivered the second condition earlier than the market expected. Here's what the numbers show. The KOSPI closed at 6,852.58, up 381.41 points or 5.89%, triggering this year's 24th buy-side sidecar. SK Hynix bought 650,000 of its own shares at an average 1,678,182 won, spending 1.09 trillion won, about $780 million on the first day of the program. SK Hynix closed 12.73% higher at 1,691,000 won, and Samsung Electronics rose 9.49% to 271,000 won. Foreign investors net bought 1.71 trillion won of KOSPI shares, taking 6-session net buying to 6.39 trillion won, roughly $4.6 billion. Matter of fact, SK Hynix will cancel 40 trillion won of stock within 3 months and return more than 50% of cumulative free cash flow from 2025 to 2027. JP Morgan put that 40 trillion won figure at 63% of trailing 12-month free cash flow, the most aggressive return among global memory peers. So, what does this mean for retail investors holding Korean exposure? Earlier, we said a single session changed the arithmetic. Here's what that actually means for you. A buyback that ends in cancellation permanently reduces the share count, so it shows up in per-share figures rather than as cash in your account, which is the opposite of how a dividend works. The second thing to know is a rule change that did not happen, because regulators decided not to relax the 0.7 correlation requirement that has delisted active exchange-traded funds even when they beat their benchmarks. Watch Samsung Electronics for its own return plan, which analysts size near 150 trillion won, about $107 billion. Watch whether foreign net buying continues with the one holding below 1,400 per dollar. Watch active fund listings, up 15.9% to 321 products this year against 9.1% growth for passive, and check the correlation rules of anything you already hold. That's today's AI Prism. Retail investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won Ifra award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.